Alright guys, welcome back to the vlog. So today I'm going to give you guys an update on what it's like to drive the Lambo and do an actual review. But first, in order to get the Lambo out of the garage, I got to get all that other shit out of the way too. So, by the way, if anyone wants to buy Mechanic Special 2006 Scion TC, I got the hookup for you. But yeah, so go get these cars out. Let's do it. The Scion still works, even though I've probably got a busted main seal. Ugh, let's see. Clutch in. Like a dream. Ugh. Check out that stereo, boys. Kenwood. And it's got monitors on the back of all of the chairs. And you can watch movies like a gangsta. Oh, and it's manual. Oh, wait, I gotta get in reverse. Maybe it will let me. Alright, got it in reverse that time. Woo! Oh, yeah, listen to that baby purr. Okay. Oh, yeah, grinding. Ah, yeah. That's a quality vehicle right there. You can't, I mean, if you want to buy quality like this thing, whoo, hit me up. Oh yeah, burn like a kid. All right, the truck's the easy one to do. So, now you have to pull out a key or anything. Heck yeah. Just push a button, start it, it goes. It's fantastic. Helps if I'm in gear. Okay. Stupid Scion, I have to pull a key out. Oh. Stupid Scion, I have to pull a key out like a peasant. It's not even a cool key like a Lambo key or anything like that. Alright. That's what happens when you have a car collection. You gotta go move a dozen cars just to get one out of the garage. Actually, I don't need that mask. I got a mask on. Okay. And you know, it really isn't leaking that much oil. Just a little bit. Alright, so yes, I do need to pull out a key when driving the Lambo, but it's not a peasant key, it's a Lambo key. Alright? Not a peasant key. There's a difference. Alright, we're in the Lambo. Safety first. Gotta have that seatbelt, boys. Alright. Sunglasses for the cool factor. And start up. That's satisfying. Oh. So, first complaint on owning the Lambo is the sound system. Whether I have the car on or off, or whether I have it on or off when I leave, it always turns on every single time, which is kind of annoying. So, yeah. Nope, there, on. Ride height, good. All right. Second strange issue with the Lamborghini is, well, actually we'll go into that one next. So for the second issue, we'll actually start off with rear visibility. There is no backup camera on this thing, and yeah, backing up is a giant pain in the butt. Goes up the garage. It really sucks, guys. Yeah, no visibility whatsoever. Third thing is ride height. The ride height on this car is retardedly low, which means that I'm gonna scrape. Just barely. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. And this being an 04, it actually doesn't have the curb lift feature, so I scrape all the time. I'm actually looking at probably getting those scrape guard protectors for the front of the car, just to stop that from happening. Another interesting issue is shifting. When you shift in the Lamborghini, you have to be very specific in how you shift. All right, if you just put it into first gear, it doesn't stay in first gear when you release the clutch. You know, you gotta hold the shifter in place in order for it to stay in first gear. Now, since I've started driving it, it hasn't done that as much anymore. But when I first got it, it was really doing that. And what I've been told is that the way the clutch is on these, they're so strong that they'll push it out of gear if you don't hold it in place. Now, once you've been in gear and you stay in gear, you're fine. Yeah. Oh, that sounds fine. So yeah, another interesting thing with shifting in this car is that it likes to stay in the high revs. So the red line on this car is 8,300 RPM, and it wants to stay there, which means you're driving like you stole it all the time. Staying in the low gears, 6,000 RPM. Yeah. Whew. So easy to get in trouble. That is not something that you want to do. You can stay in the low RPMs, but the whine, it really just, you can tell the car doesn't like being in low RPMs. But it's a hell of a lot of fun to drive. So back to the shifting. So because of the gate, the way everything is, when you put it into gear, especially third gear, there's like a middle spot where it stops, and you think you're in gear, but you're actually not all the way in gear. So you have to be specific. You have to put it into gear, be in the right spot, but don't like push it, don't hold it, don't slam it, because if you do that, then it grinds at you. But you got to put it in the right spot, and then you got to hold it there, otherwise it wants to pop out. And yeah. And once you're in, like I said, once the clutch is out and you're in gear, you're fine, but until you're actually in gear, you gotta hold your hand there. It's very frustrating. Now when you're all done shifting and everything's good, and you're just driving down the road, you still have the drone of the engine right behind you, and it is loud. It's not a quiet car. Time it goes quiet is when, you know, I put the clutch in and I shift. But yeah. But other than that, the handling is superb. I mean, you're low, you're wide. You know, like I can let go of the steering wheel with confidence. I know the car is planted. It's good. Now, suspension is stiff. It's a race car, boys, and you definitely feel it. It's not made for comfort. This is not a Grand Tour. When I was researching this car, one of the number one complaints that people had is that the seats end up hurting your back if you drive more than an hour in the car. And I can totally see that. I can see having back pain if you stay in the car for too long. But let's talk about some of the benefits. So right off the bat, the smell. I know it's a weird thing, but the smell of the car is heavenly. It smells like Italian leather. It smells the way you would think that Italian leather should smell, and it smells so good. It's like an aged whiskey. It is so fantastic. And then you combine that with petrol. So Italian leather and petrol. Oh, it's an interesting smell combination, but it feels like an exotic car, which is what it is. You know, it feels like that's where the word comes from, being exotic. It feels exotic. It feels like it's from somewhere else. It doesn't feel like a normal car. And the fact that this is a 16-year-old car and it still has that leather smell to it is just superb. The exhaust noise, it is hard to hear from inside the car, but from outside the car, this thing sounds so fantastic. With Fab Speed exhaust, it just sounds so good. These have less horsepower than the later generation Gallardos, the 5-liter V10s. They only had like 497 horsepower, but it's still got a lot of power, and it's immediate. It's got all that torque. It's all right there because it's naturally aspirated. You don't have to wait for turbos to spool. And the fact that it's all-wheel drive means that, I hit it in first gear and it just goes. Even with the 8-year-old tires that this car has, it still has plenty of traction. I never break loose. And it's really just something else. Some other cool features like the sound system. That was the previous owner. They put in the speaker and the sound system, and it's good. It's nice. It's loud. I don't necessarily need a crazy sound system, but with how loud the engine is and how loud the road noise is, I can understand wanting to have, in order to be able to hear your music, wanting to up that volume a little bit. But honestly, I think I would have preferred to have the storage shelf right behind here. But it is what it is. The front is actually pretty sizable. You are able to fit a good amount of stuff in there, even though the amplifier does take up a little bit of the front space. But it is pretty sizable. It's good. The controls in the car are very unique. Having these switches here for all the different windows, controls, lights, and everything. It's definitely different, especially with the gas release being right here, one of the switches. That is kind of unique. Some of the common issues that these cars have, like the fuel filters cracking, and I had that. I had the fuel filters crack. It wasn't too bad for me. The fuel gauge actually works really well for me. It's really accurate. So I don't have that issue. I know a lot of people have the fuel gauges don't work, but I don't have that problem. It's real easy to fill up. I don't have any overheating problems. Even with the coolant leak, the car never overheated. Now it is winter time, so maybe that was it. But for the most part, heating-wise, everything's fine. Really, this is a well-sorted vehicle, and I love it. That's an Audi R8 right behind me. Yeah. R8 convertible. Not gonna play with you today, sir. This thing is so much fun. Like, they say don't ever meet your heroes and stuff like that, and there are issues in the car. Not gonna lie, there are issues, but it's still so much fun to drive. Am I grinning? Because I'm grinning. Woo! Okay, don't do that crap. I was babying this car a bit when I first got it, and now, I'm definitely getting more used to it, and I'm having a little bit more fun with it, and it is a lot of fun. Oh man, I should have brought water. But yeah, no, this is truly an experience. This is something that, I hope one day everybody has this experience where they get to own and drive their own exotic. It is truly something else. And for those of you that are like, well, it's just a car, maybe exotics aren't something for you. Yeah, it is a car. Like, it gets you from point A to point B. That's its purpose. But as a true car guy knows, it's more than that. This is, it's about the fun. It's about the freedom. It's about the sound of that engine. It's about the clickety clackety of that transmission. That's what it's all about, boys. Yeah, so much fun. I will say, as far as room goes, like, I do fit in the car really well for being a big boy. I can't sit in the seat, so getting in and out is a little bit more difficult than the Supra because this car is a little bit lower. But as long as you can open up the doors wide enough, not really too big of an issue. The techniques that I use to get in the Supra are the same techniques I use to get into this. One of the interesting things, though, is that the wheel well comes in where your feet are, so it actually forces your feet sideways, which is a similar problem that the Supra has, but the Supra didn't have an excuse as to why it had that problem. This car, I understand why it has the issues, because the wheel well is literally right there. We have barely any room in between the wheel well and the pedals, and you have these super itty bitty tiny pedals. Like, the brake pedal on this thing is so small. So, like, I understand why I'm sitting crooked in here because of the wheel well and the way it works, but on Supra it never made any sense. Man, it's such a fun car to drive. And the looks, that's another thing, is everybody wants to look at the yellow Lamborghini. It's everybody stares. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you get a lot of positive attention. A lot of people, want appreciating the car and liking the car. But you also get a lot of people, you don't like the car, don't like the fact that you're driving around in an exotic, feel like you have too much money or what have you. And then you also have those people that want to race you. Everybody and their brother wants to have that Lambo killer status. They want to race a Lambo and prove that their car is faster than a Lamborghini. I mean, like, I hate to be the one that breaks this to you, but a lot of cars are faster than a Lamborghini. Like, yes, I have 500 horsepower. Yes, it's all-wheel drive, but a lot of things have more horsepower. There's a lot of things that are lighter than this car that have the better get up and go. It's pretty easy to put a couple grand into a vehicle and have it be faster than a Lamborghini. It's not about that. It's the total package, the well put together, the ability to go around, the ability to corner and go with reliability, the all-wheel drive and the power and the performance, and know that you're not going to have to worry about things just breaking down for whatever reason, right? That it's like you don't have those excuses. Well, oh, hey, you got to do this and you got to do that in order to start the car. And if you see this oil light here, then just don't pay attention to it. And if your oil pressure goes above here, then you need to worry about over here. And then don't overboost it, because if you overboost it, you're going to blow my block. Like, all that stuff. Like, you don't have any of that. So yeah, it is cool that you can build cars and they can destroy these things for a lot less than what these things cost. And I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that it is a different experience. This, when you're buying this, you're getting the total package is what you're getting, and it is different. Did I buy this car to win on the track? No. I like the Supra would be my track car. This is not a track car. Did I buy this car to have fun while driving around on the road? Absolutely. Take this thing out to the canyons and go through the twisties and feel planted? Yes, that is why I got this car. Also, I got this car as an investment piece, and it should be a pretty solid investment. So, yeah, so I don't really plan on taking it out to the track and destroying it out there. I'm not trying to win or prove a point at all. I don't need to do that. I'm just bought the car to love it and enjoy it, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, boys, I am back home. That is it for the video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed the content. Please comment below, and as always, subscribe. And I hope you all have an awesome day.